Now to the Republican side, Mr. Barton.
Mr. Chairman, I have an amendment at the desk. I believe it's the Barton Transparency Amendment number Trans 001.
Clerk will report the amendment.
007, I'm sorry.
Reserving the right to object.
It's an amendment. It's not a UC.
I'll withdraw that reservation.
It's not a UC request. It's just an amendment.
Amendment to the amendment in the nature of a substitute to H.R. 3200 offered by Mr. Barton.
Without objection, the amendment will be considered as read, and the gentleman from Texas is recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, this is a straightforward amendment dealing with transparency, which, to my knowledge, everybody on both sides of the aisle in this committee supports. It would create an independent entity within the Health and Human Services to collect and to publicly disclose pricing and risk-adjusted quality data so that consumers and providers would all know what the facts really are and would enable those that use services to make a better decision on which provider or which facility to use. It's straightforward. It's not a gotcha amendment. Regardless of which side of the aisle members sit on in terms of this committee, we all know that we need to reform the existing healthcare system. There are differences, obviously, about how to do that, but I don't believe anybody should oppose an amendment that simply makes it possible for the HHS to collect and to publicly disclose such information.
Gentlemen, yield to me.
Be happy to yield.
I know our staffs have been talking about this issue, and I support the idea of more transparency in healthcare pricing and quality, and I also agree we ought to get appropriate information to consumers. But I think that there are some issues that were still under discussion, and I wonder if you would be willing to withhold this amendment so those discussions can be completed.
I would be happy to withdraw it with the chairman's understanding that we really will have discussions and try to dispose of the amendment sometime during this markup.
Absolutely. You have my assurance on that.
Then I would withdraw the amendment at this time.
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Chairman,
Who seeks recognition? Gentleman from Texas.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just ask to speak out of order. I have an amendment on transparency. We worked with Congressman Burgess and Congressman Stupak and Congresswoman Sutton that I think will do the transparency. And if Joe, if we get a chance, we'd like to talk with you about it because
I've got no pride of authorship. I'm interested
Great.
in the subject, and if there's a transparency amendment that the majority is working on, if we can dovetail, I'm more than willing to be a part of that process.
Okay. We'll get our staffs together. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Green.